There's nothing. We all need love and attention. Thank you, Reverend Lisa. We all need love and attention, and we all need to realize that our potential and our purpose will be fulfilled once we accept and experience and allow divine love to unfold. You see, the things with humans is that we get in our own way. And it is due to that we experience a lot of misfortunes, tragedies, and circumstances that is only trying to get us to see what it is we need to do. But I found something and I want to share it with you, and it says, did you know no one can destroy iron, but its own rust can? No one can destroy a person, but his own mindset can. See, we are only limited by our understanding. And this is why the book says, seek knowledge. But it's something about going after knowledge that stymies us. Now, I could point out what has happened, but I would like to think that we all know what has happened, and I would like to think now we are living in the moment in time that we understand that we are in charge of our lives. So because of that, I want to say that if we want to experience peace, if we want to experience love, if we want to be comfortable, this day and any day, we have to connect with divine love. See, this divine love is within us, and we have to celebrate divine love with gratitude. See, we have to open up our minds to receive the blessing. See, a blessing can only come when we are awakened by its arrival, by the attention we have on expectation. You see, most of the time we don't expect anything because we are thinking about why it didn't happen yet. Focusing on the wrong thing. So we can't focus on what has not. We have to know that it is coming. It is waiting on me to understand that I am it, and I call it forth by my acceptance and belief in what I expect. See, if you don't expect nothing, you ain't going to see nothing, and you're not going to reach for nothing. Life is waiting on us. Our focus and attention with divine love will regulate our thoughts and keep us calm in the moment of turmoil. And this is what we have to focus on, not on how we feel. We all feel bad every now and then. Ain't not one person ever lived on this earth didn't feel bad. But we cannot wallow on that feeling. See, divine love is waiting for us to humbly submit ourselves to it. Like relinquish that burdens that we're holding on to that hasn't done nothing for us. But we hold on to them, and because we holding on to them, we can't move. It's like an anchor. And the anchor just holds you right in place. And you can't come up because it's heavy, because we won't let it go. So it's on our shoulders, it's on our head, it's on our neck, it's on our back. Everything that has ever happened, this is what we're doing because we don't allow divine love in. We do when we come to church. Oh, yeah. Feel it. Oh, thank you, Lord. Yeah. But that ain't when you need it. You need it when you're alone, when you're with yourself, and these thoughts come in your mind about how you're not successful. That's when you need divine love to show up. And that's why you got to call on him. You call on divine love. Don't cast it out. It can't come in if we don't open the door. See, these experiences in our lives has formed judgments. And these judgments, in most cases, are negative. And this causes us to believe that we're not even equipped with the power that we say that we have. This is why we haven't achieved whatever it is that we wanted to achieve. We didn't achieve it because we didn't believe or think that we could. Or somebody said you wasn't good enough. Or why you think you can do that. These are the things that we wrestle with, and it's only in mind. We have to let Spirit lead. When we allow Spirit to lead, we can overcome our challenges. You see, a struggle or a difficult time is only a moment in which we should call on this power to resurrect us from our condemnation of ourselves. Our belief is not focused on the truth, but on the problem. Problems should not deter us, but should stimulate within us a call upon divine love that would help us discover our unrealized potential. And then we can see how we can succeed or overcome whatever challenges there are. Because thoughts are things. We are connected to the source of life that has created everything. And when we doubt its ability based on our experiences, we limit this presence ability to operate on our behalf. See, divine love is unlimited in its power. It will provide what we need, when we need, if we believe. You see, first, we must recognize we are made in the image and likeness of. And we've been reading this since we was knee-high to a butterfly. And we heard it, but it's something about it that just don't resonate with it. Because there's something about going through a struggle that makes us think that, well, why would it choose me? Because you were birthed into its reality. We're birthed in a world that need us to call forth, to call on everything that is going on. We're the ones. Everything we see was called upon, that was brought into fruition by the mind of someone. And if we don't want to get in line and challenge and bring forth the good that's within us, Spirit can't help you. If you don't want it, matter of fact, what it does is say, okay, I'll sit and wait for you to realize who you are. Because it is in that realization. And that is why Ernest Holmes came up with the 5 steps. You got to have a realization of who and what we are. Then you got to connect with it. See, first you got to recognize, you got to recognize it. Okay, I see it, it exists. Because when man first walked out and he looked, he was like, wow, man, what do I do? Now, see, we a little bit more advanced. If we would have came out back then, man, okay, and we all know what I'm saying. There was nothing in existence. It was void. And we had to start from the beginning to create, to believe. And here we are in a world already conceptualized to the point of what we see, and we still don't believe we can do it. And we the ones. We look around and we see doctors, we see lawyers, we see investigators, we see teachers, we see trained conductors, we see musicians, we see it all. But yet, somehow, in our minds, it wasn't referring to me. No, I'm referring to you. I can't do it without you. It is through man that the Spirit will reveal who it is and what we need to do to be who it is that we are. Stand up. I said stand up and be who it is that you can. Don't worry about how you feel. Stand up and just move and get there. Take your time, but get there. Don't matter if it's been 10 years. You may have 10 more. What you gonna do with what it is that you have? See, we choose how we interact in our relationships with divine love by our thoughts and mind that we hold in as concepts. Divine love has given us all we need, and we choose how we cooperate with it. This happens in our mind. See, the unfoldment of divine love is in our mind. And we have to understand that. Just like Jesus, we must realize that the Father and I are one. See, it's not two things, but because of the language that we need to understand it, when it's expressed to us, we don't identify with it because it is taught to us as a spirit. But if you think about it, if it ain't taught to you as a spirit, if it's taught to you as a human, and then if you see the human, you're not going to be, what they say, you can't handle it because it's too much, it's too powerful. So you have to understand that it's saying that it is moving and circulating in the atmosphere. And this is what is causing us to move and vibrate at the paces that we are moving. Because even though we have gone through stuff, we still move like ain't nothing happened. We still do it. What is that? Unbeknownst to us, unbeknownst to what we're really thinking, our spirit is still moving us. And we still gliding through this. This is what it does. And that's the hope we have to ride on. See, divine love requires us to accept the invitation, for it operates on our behalf. Once we accept the summons of divine love, then and only then will we receive instructions and the comfort of divine love. However we view our relationship with divine love, it must be in harmony. We are using divine love to produce our world because in Him we live, move, and have our being. See, in this presence and through our understanding, we're creating the life that we're living because we can only do it by what we understand and comprehend. In Hebrews 13:5, it says, I will never leave you nor forsake you. It's spirit, it can't. It's all around us. It's waiting on us to say thank you. It's waiting on us to say, I accept you in my life. You know, when I was young, I used to, like the old song, Mama gave me money and then I went and spent it on candy. That was only being done because of what I understood about what it was to be a spiritual person, to be a Christian. See, I looked at it as being nerd or uncool. So then I can't go all the way. I can't get involved because I know that ain't me, man. I got to still hang out over here. And see, this is the separation. I'm just making this point this night so we can see the separation on how we do in our own mind. So because we think that ain't gonna be cool, we say, nah, I ain't ready to go all the way in there, Because if I go all the way in there, then I can't do this, then I can't do that. It ain't saying, well, you can do anything. But you do it in love, respect, honor, and integrity. That's how we do it, not in foolishness. Foolishness stymies the growth. That's why we haven't, because we were stuck in something that wouldn't allow us to be free. But freedom is waiting on the revolutionary. And Jesus was a revolutionary, quiet as it's kept. See, it was given to us to make us humble, but we didn't even understand what humble was. We thinking that, oh, I got to submit, I got to be obedient. Yeah, those are some characteristics you got to have, but at the same time, you got to recognize when there's trouble, and you got to get up on out of there. See, and a lot of that's we don't look at it like that. Oh, well, I guess I'm supposed to go through this. You know, I need to be punished. For what? Because you was born in a world you didn't understand, and your curiosity is trying to get you to find out who you are and what it is that you need to do to be a better self. That's all it's doing. Become better. Don't be stuck in the past. Become better. See, this never leaving and forsaking, it implies that we're never alone, and divine love is present with us as we experience challenges, misfortunes, and discomfort. Divine love is right where we are. Our weakness is because we believe not in the presence, but in ourselves. We don't trust ourselves because we made a mistake back in yesteryear. Yesteryear has gone and brought a new opportunity, and we have grown up and still see ourselves as little Johnny and Tammy. Don't want to, oh, I need some assistance. Call on the power and the presence of love that is guiding us. So when you get to a certain point, mama and daddy can't help you. They can only tell you, like they say, go read the book, go to church. But no, we can't go to church because they over there, they do this, they do that. Hey, man, listen to what the word is giving you so that you can grow. Grow is what it is we're supposed to be doing. All the things we have grown through and learned, when a circumstance arrives, in most cases, we complain. Why did this happen now? I just went through this. I just had a challenge with that. When something happens in our lives, we should look at it as a promotion or an advancement. What blessing am I about to receive? What good is lurking around the corner trying to get me to let this go so I can get this? This is how we're supposed to look at it. Don't look at it as coming, as holding you back, knocking you down. No, only if you perceive it. If that's your perception, you're going to be stuck right in it. Look for the blessing. See, something good is about to happen, but because we're going through a struggle, we don't understand when they say the darkest hour is just before the dawn. It is said that the sun, just before the sun rises, the sky is at its blackest, suggesting that when times are worse for us, they will soon pass. But see, sometimes we miss these things. Like, man, why they tell that, black cow don't give white milk? All these statements go over our head, right? But you got to remember, these are individuals who were being taught in a way that suppressed them. And so because of that, they had to figure out ways to express things to us to assist us to grow. So grow. Grow. You don't always need water to grow. Sometimes you got to think to grow. Grow. Cast your burdens on the Lord, and he will sustain you. He will never permit us to be removed from our places. Nothing. I'm going to share something with you guys. When I was a kid, my father had worked 9.5 years on a job. You needed to work 10 to get your pension. He only worked 9.5. Now I'm a teenager. I ain't grown yet. I ain't read no law books yet. I'm still in like middle school, so I ain't really opened up yet. But what I remember about that moment was when they denied us his pension, I said, that will never happen to me. I'm a teenager. I didn't know how, but that's what came out of my mouth. So a few weeks ago, a challenge came about me not receiving what I should receive. I said, hold on. I've been here and I've done this. So if this is benefiting somebody, it should benefit me. So I listened to what Spirit gave me to understand that I had to stand up for myself to receive, but not look down on, oh, here it come again. I went through that and we end up doing this. No. How do I need to say this? How do I need to speak? I just did a little quick version for it. It was a little deeper than I had to write a letter and everything, but I just wanted to quickly go through it. So I say that to say, don't worry about it. Don't even worry, but ask, what is it that I need to say in this moment? See, even if you don't have nobody, you do. But we don't realize that there's something that's going to come and help me and assist me. That's what it does. Something somehow will connect you to what you need when you need it. But you got to call on it. You have to. That's the way it works, you guys. I mean, it's like, and I get it. Sometimes when I'm going through something, I forget too, right? That's the human way, though. But when you remember, you got to go back in. You got to bow down. You got to go and get down. You got to go submit. You got to go and call on it, tug on it, pull on it until it happens, until you realize that, you know what? Well, I got it. I got it. So in telling us not to worry about tomorrow, it is asking us to trust that he'll give us enough strength to face the day as it comes. And he'll do it all over again tomorrow. There's no limit. Except the limit we get. Well, he helped me yesterday. You think he can help me today? It's something about this that I don't know if he can help me now. When we receive the blessing, confessing the good life, praising life, and giving God thanks for his presence, we have to begin to act as though we are alive and glad to be alive. And we will gain a new realization of life and an increase from divine love. We should never doubt ourselves. We're not the ones doing it. It is divine love within that's doing the work. The book says God is omnipotence, the all-powerful one. God is omniscient, the all-knowing one, all-perceiving mind. God is omnipresent, the constant presence of the undivided world. The world is undivided. We divide it. We separate ourselves from the power that's pushing us, guiding us, directing us, fulfilling everything that we need. The spiritual presence is all, in all, through all, sustains all, and maintains all. In all our increases, we must accept that God is the giver of the gift. Sometimes we attain things under the misconception that it's us, that created from our personal effort, when in fact it comes from the operation of a universal law that works for us by working through us. The connection in life, you cannot extract anything from this earth, and everything is extracted from the earth. The animals that we have as resources, somebody saw those animals and they saw a coat. We laughing, but is that not what happened? Somebody saw the animal and saw some shoes. I'm just revealing things that I've learned and that I've seen. But somehow, we can't do it. Or we'll say, well, they already have some shoes, so I don't think I'm going to be the one to make some shoes. Oh, you won't? People are still making shoes today. And they coming out with different brands, different names, different kinds, okay? Red bottoms, black bottoms, gray bottoms, blue bottoms. But because we don't see it for us, we don't think we can, right? The only reason most of us in this building don't have a business, those who don't, is because we didn't see how to manifest it, right? Or we went to get a loan. And when we went to get the loan, they denied us. And then we stopped right there. We didn't go and try to figure out what's the way in. And then we don't go and ask our brother who has a business because we feel shame and guilt because we don't know. Stop it. Go get your good. Don't be ashamed because you don't know. Go know. Go find out. The one thing I used to always express to our kids was follow instructions. And the reason you follow instructions is because in the instruction is the answer. And if you don't understand the instruction, then you ask a question. This is how we should all be living our lives. It's no way around it because some of the stuff we don't know. And then we don't even say, well, I'm going to go sit with it to see what it means. See, again, who's in charge of that? We in charge of our own demise, our good and our bad, based on what we believe about what it is we have, what we know, what we understand, right? Don't quit. Don't give up because it hasn't happened. Just because it hasn't happened don't mean it hasn't happened. That sounds like a delay. Waiting on my recognition of what I need to do in the process. That's all it is. Don't talk yourself out of your good. So I'm going to take this farmer's seed and I'm going to try to connect it with us a little differently. The farmer, he takes the seeds, and in this seed, it has all it needs to produce, whether it be greens, beans, or tomatoes. Does not matter to the soil. The farmer, he plants the seed. And what we have to do with our thoughts, we have to put it in creative mind. See, the creative mind is the soil. Okay? And then creative mind receives it. Then the farmer, He waters the seed. He fertilizes it with mulch or compost. Follow me. This enriches or insulates the soil, which increases the unexpressed potential in the plant. Did you see that? Or seed, it increases, okay? And in our affairs, we use prayer and affirmations as the same effect. We have to have the same action in order to get the same result. Y'all ain't following that. Y'all ain't following that. Man, you should have been jumping for joy on that, because that was supposed to be like, aha! Now I got it. Then the farmer has to pull out the weeds that grow around it. Negative thoughts has to be pulled out from our consciousness. Y'all don't want to grow. Y'all like them weeds around y'all. All right, I'm going to close it with this. In Matthew 4, 1 through 11, Jesus was, I'm going to give the analogy the way that I see it, right? So Jesus went away to the mountaintop. The book says that the angels escorted him up and away. So as Jesus went to the mountaintop to separate, to reconnect with spirit for 40 days, he became hungry. And then the book says that he was tempted by, right? So what I want us to see is that something comes up in our mind that tell us that we're hungry and we need to do something. So for Jesus, it was he saw the rocks and his mind told him, turn those rocks into bread. See? And in our mind, it comes up, you ain't ready yet. See, that's that playing with your mind. That's how it works, right? And so Jesus said, man does not live by bread alone. So you got to speak back to the thoughts that's telling you it's impossible or you can't. And then, since that didn't work, he said, man, come on, man. Took him up to the highest part of the temple. And he said, why don't you jump down and fly and let the angels come and grab you before your feet hit the ground? Jesus said, no. I'm going to live by the word, the mouth that comes out of God, for I know that this is not the way, right? This is modern version. I got to speed it up a little bit. And so then he took him to another place and he told him, look out over all the city that you can. All these kingdoms, I'll let you rule over all of them. Jesus said, get behind me. See, it's just, the story is just telling us this is what we have to do when conflicts arise. We have to speak to the conflict in a way that we disarm it, not empower it, disarm it, right? It's like if a bomb going off, they say we got to disarm it. That's a bomb about to go off in our lives. We have to disarm it. We should accept this as a source working through us. If we expect to demonstrate, because it is an inexhaustible resource and does not care who uses it. So we're going to close with this affirmation. Take in a deep breath. Let it out slowly. Recognize that the power and ether of life is circulating in and through this place. And let us say, I allow the goodness, abundant power to work, in all my affairs. And keep my thoughts on God's presence within me. Just let that in. Just let that in. I allow the goodness, abundant power to work in all my affairs and keep my thoughts on God's presence within me. The unfoldment of divine love works for us as a principle of life, as it works through us to provide for us all we need. All we need. And so it is.